Hey! That department, their lecturers, they are so wicked. They are evil. Blah, 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 blah. Just feel this urge within me to let this out. But one thing that I'm going to tell you is be cautious of the orientation that you are receiving. Now, one thing that affected me in school was wrong orientation. Who are you listening to? Who are you asking questions? Who is telling you about your school? Who's telling you about your department? Telling you about your faculty? Whose testimonies are you listening to? Back then, when I tell someone, oh, I'm in 100 level, and because I don't know why, some people didn't expect or they didn't guess that I was 100 level. Someone said I looked like someone who was in master. I remember I'll tell someone that, oh, I'm in biochemistry department, and they'll be like, hey! That department, their lecturers, they are so wicked. They are evil. Blah, 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 blah. God. And trust me, this is actually the edited version of the testimonies that I received about my department. Like, this is an edited version. So I was hearing a lot of things, mostly negative reports. If anybody ever told me something positive, it was like most likely in my second year or maybe third or even fourth year. But all through, I was just hearing negative things back to back. So I'm just coming into an environment for the very first time and I'm hearing something negative already. What do you expect me to run with? Apart from that, people already put this fear in me about my department and what it was like. People already put this fear that I shouldn't even expect anything good. So it took me like the first semester to actually gauge it. Then to not even make matters worse. In my school, you don't start anything relating to your course, although things are changing right now. But back then, you actually don't start anything relating to your department or your course till your 300 level. So there was this whole story or this whole preaching of you better use this time to build your CGPA to the best that you can. Blah. God. The negative things that I heard, oh my goodness. So I knew what was happening. Fear had already consumed me to a huge extent. So I just want to remind you, be careful of who is speaking to you. Be careful. And another way that wrong orientation actually affected me was nobody really told me this is what you need to do to get this. So now in my school, 100 level back then, I don't know how things are currently, but back then for 100 level biochemistry department, we had E-exams. All of our courses were E, that's computer-based exams. And I can't categorically say that somebody actually told me, read your handouts that are actually released in class by your lecturers. Just read what they give you and go for your exams. I don't believe somebody actually told me that specifically. So the problem that I had was I just thought that I should read everything, read broad, read this, read that. No knowledge was a waste. Thank God. I fell victim to scammers, to thieves and armed robbers that are waiting for 100 level students in school. So these guys came into our class. They walked into the class and they started selling these materials for maths, for English, physics, chemistry, and I think biology. Yeah, for 500 naira each. So sometimes I want to sit and host a funeral for the money I lost in 100 level. Because the courses we paid. God. These guys were selling it for 500 naira each, and that whole fear of,
oh my God, this is my first day in school. Whatever I'm doing has to count. I'm not going to be stupid about it.
Your girl removed 2,500 naira and gave to Adam. I gave it to a man. Hey God. Did you see what's part? I was like, no. Cash is going to waste my time. Just can I transfer? Pim, transfer to them. I gave them money. Money that I would have used to eat food. I gave it to them. Ladies and gentlemen, I read that thing cover to cover, page to page, word for word, everything. Not even one line. I didn't see anything in my exams. Physics, chemistry, math, use of English, biology, nothing. I didn't see nothing. I wasted money. So if you guys leave me, I'm just going to keep talking about orientation. So let's move to the next point. The next point that I'm going to be telling you guys is you need God. Now, school systems are, I don't mean to scare you guys, don't get me wrong, but school systems, university, you have a lot of things. You have a lot of people. You have a lot of backgrounds. You have so many things coming together in one place. Now, for example, there are people who have spiritual upbringings that might not necessarily resonate with yours. There are people who have peculiar traditions that they have at home and then they're coming to school with it. Now, some of these things, if you've heard so many people, they'll tell you there are a lot of demonic forces in school, this and that and all those stuff. In fact, there are belief systems that people, because of the weight of these evil forces in school, that's why you have it that some people come into school and they're not able to get out. I've had my own experiences with respect to your studies, with respect to you reading. See, I've experienced this thing and I just know that you cannot do school without God. You can't do school without God. So it's how you hold on to God in school that will determine. And mind you, a lot of people are making this mistake where they just think that, okay,
I'll just focus on God and expect my academics to go fine.
it doesn't work that way. If you're going to hold God, balance it. As you're praying, someone used to say something. The person said, read as if you can't pray and pray as if you can't read. Do both of them and watch God miraculously help you. Believe me when I say so. There were courses that I could just be so overwhelmed on how to read, and I'll just be like, God, please help me. Help me. Let it be where I read. That's where I'll see questions from. And as I'm reading, it's entering, it's flowing. Before you know it, I'm stepping into the hall and I'm like, oh my God, I read this. Like, I saw this. You get, and that excitement hits different because you just feel like you have this superpower at the end of the day. And it doesn't just cut just to reading, even associations, relationships, everything. When you have a close relationship with God in school, so many things, honestly, so many things. And my department was one that was really, really emotionally draining and heavy on me. There are times I'm so overwhelmed, there are times I'm so sad, but I'll just pray to God and just, Holy Spirit, give me peace. Holy Spirit, give me peace. God, help me. God, please help me. I need ease. And I'll just have this peace coming. There's just that ease that comes in. And before you know it, I'm all good to go. Be ready to get hurt. See, you cannot escape getting hurt in school. This does not just apply to romantic relationships, because when you use the word hurt, everybody's just thinking, oh, it's boyfriend and girlfriend thing. No, it's actually more than that. Now, remember I said earlier on that you're being thrown into a new environment. You're meeting so many people for the first time, different backgrounds, different upbringings, and these people have different perceptions to life than you do. This hurt is not just a one-year thing. I first started to relate with people. I started to see habits in them that I was just like, why are you doing this? Why? The annoying part was some of these people did not understand my own personality. They thought that I was seeing things the way they were seeing it. You get, we all didn't understand ourselves, and nobody was that aware to communicate how we felt. Nobody was that aware. So it was them getting hurt by most likely some of my habits, and me getting hurt by some of their habits. This is a side note to it, but I strongly do not advise you to get involved in relationships in your first year. I strongly don't advise that, because you're new into an environment. You barely know who and who moves around this place. You don't even know their history. Call anyone out when they are being silly with you. Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm just going to tolerate it, because you are giving these people a roadmap on how to treat you in the future. Any bullshit you see, call it out. Change it for that person there and then. When I'm peaking, it's because you have importance to me, and I can see that. And I can clearly see that this is going to be a positive kind of relationship. How do I mean? You're going to help me grow, and I also believe that you're going to learn from me. That's the peaking part. Now, the dropping part comes when I start to see I'm not learning anything from this person. I'm not learning anything from this person, and this person is also not learning anything from me, so I'm dropping. But there were cases where I saw that, okay, this person was still learning a few things from me, so I held on a little bit, and then as soon as I sensed that they were done learning what they needed to learn from me, I'm dropping. Now, I'm not dropping with the, oh, we're done. No, I'm dropping with the perception that I'm going to peak. So it's like pick, drop, recycle, pick, drop, recycle. So I peak and then I drop. Then after a while, I say like, okay, maybe this person, because one thing with school is you never know where you're going to need somebody again. You never know. And mind you, the same process of growth that you're going through, these people are also going through it. So when I find out later, somewhere along the line, that, okay, this person has actually grown. This person now has characters and attitudes that I resonate with. So I'm going to come back and recycle. I don't want to sound toxic, but I'm sorry if that sounded toxic to you. But it wasn't, because nobody was hurt in the process. Not really. If anyone was hurt, I apologize. But nobody was hurt, I can assure you of that.